Oil prices hit as U.S. markets sell off on Tuesday for a third day. Ray, is this downturn in oil prices something fundamental, supply and demand, or is this kind of a trading thing we're seeing right now?
I think it has to do with confidence in the economies of the U.S. and I think also focusing very strongly on the Eurozone. So all of that coming together to just create a real crisis of confidence in the global recovery.
Very much a risk off trade then for oil. But my question to that then, why isn't Brent down much more than WTI? Why is that spread still so large?
Well, because the Libyan rebel government now has announced what everyone feared was there was plenty of damage to the infrastructure in Libya, and the prospect of Libyan oil returning to the market anytime soon has been diminished greatly by what they found at the oil terminals and in the fields. They still don't know the state of those. So we're not going to see that Libyan oil perhaps reach to 1.6 million barrels for another year minimum. My guess is it's longer than that. So that creates upward pressure on the Brent price, and that's what we're seeing today.
How wide do you think that spread goes, and do you think it lasts for 1 or 2 years like you said?
I think it's anyone's call at where that spread can go. Many people have been wrong picking tops and bottoms to that spread. So I just think that that's why we're experiencing that upward pressure in the Brent price today versus the WTI.
So how do you take advantage of that? How do you trade that?
Well, I am not trading that spread. I'm sticking with the WTI and
When
trying.
you see prices down for WTI, do you want to be shorting that, or do you want to pick prices to get long then?
My feel is we're going to have another wave down. I'm bullish overall. There are many bullish factors out there, but an implosion of the euro could cause a big down move in the oil price, as we've seen in May of 2010 and in May of this year as well. So I think I'm looking for an opportunity to get long, but at lower levels.
What level are you looking at to go long?
I think we have anywhere of a range from 87.15 down to 64 and a quarter. That goes back to May of 2010 with the first Greek debt crisis, the riots that we saw in Athens then. I'm looking for somewhere in the 70s and perhaps in the 60s.
And then what's your upside then? What's the supply and demand fundamental telling you oil prices should be at in the top end?
Well, I think once the Eurozone problems get sorted, that is going to create a big move up, regardless of the U.S. economic picture at the time. And I think that's coming, but it may not come until 2012 when the elections in Germany, France, and our own elections can take place.
And then real quick, you think that would affect Brent more than WTI. So is that just sort of a crisis of confidence? So once we see some stability in the Eurozone region, then we get more of a risk on trade, and that's why it helps WTI?
I think that's correct. We would probably see whatever follows the euro, whether it includes the countries in it now or not. Once the euro starts to rally or whatever replaces the euro, if that happens, then I think you would see the dollar drop. And the risk haven status of the dollar would diminish, and I think you would see commodity prices in general rally.
All right, thanks so much, Ray. I really appreciate it. So oil prices looking for stability from Europe, but could see another leg down in the short term.